Hey y'all, it's your girl Destinee and I am back with another video, and today I'm going to be giving you guys 7 tips for self-growth in 2025. Now if you're new to my channel, I talk about all things self-growth here, so if that's something that you're into, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Alright y'all, so I'm just going to get right into it. So the first thing that you want to do when you want to start on personal development or you want to start your self-growth journey is to choose maybe like 1 to maybe like 3 areas to focus on, because you can't do everything all at once. So for me, I would basically just choose any 3 areas of my life that I'm the least happy with or like that needs the most improvement and start with those first. Now the categories that I use are faith and spirituality, fitness and physical health, mental health, fun and enjoyment, rest and self-care, finances, function/professional life, relationships, and intellect or personal growth. So yeah, choose 1 to 3 of those areas of your life, or if you get your own categories, or if you need to look up some categories, go ahead and do it. Those are the categories that I kind of want to prioritize in my life, or how I kind of segment my life. So yeah, go ahead and choose 1 to 3. Remember, you cannot do it all. Please do not try to do everything all at once, because self-growth does require a lot of energy and effort and time, and it requires a lot of intentionality. Okay, so tip number 2 is going to be to make your goals as clear as possible on this self-growth journey. Like, you want to make sure that you know exactly where you're going and exactly what you hope to accomplish, so that way you're able to actually track your progress and hold yourself accountable if you know you're not doing what you need to be doing. And y'all already know I stand 10 toes behind the SMART goal method. That is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. If y'all don't know what all of that stuff really means, go ahead and look it up. And you want to make sure that after you set those goals, you break those down into smaller achievable tasks, so that you can actually know exactly what it is that you need to be doing. So a perfect example of that would be when I set a goal to get my Certified Associate in Project Management certification. And that's the goal, to get it in 6 months. Now the task, when I break that down, is to maybe study 3 times a week or for 10 hours a week, take at least 1 practice quiz a week, and create flashcards for every chapter per week. Those are my tasks that I need to complete that are gonna get me to the goal that I hope to achieve. And the third tip is going to be to develop self-awareness. Y'all, it took me forever to develop a sense of self-awareness, because I just had this notion in my head that like nothing that I did was wrong, that I'm like perfect, I try to do everything right, I can never be the villain. Like, that is like how I saw myself. And so I really didn't have any self-awareness, and then I had to kind of like take accountability for like the things in my life that I wasn't happy about, and kind of realize like, girl, you've been doing all of this to yourself. Or, girl, you kind of deserve that because you did the wrong thing. So you really got to be aware, because your self-growth journey is going to require a lot of self-reflection. It's going to require a lot of you just being real with yourself, not being in denial about nothing, and being able to see where you were wrong and where you can improve. But please, too, remember to always give yourself grace. The whole thing with the self-awareness is just to not have too much pride, to be able to, see where you are wrong and where you need to improve. But please still give yourself grace. But you got to put that pride to the side. This also will give you a chance to actually evaluate your strengths and your weaknesses, which is going to be very important, because you actually need to kind of develop that self-awareness and kind of figure out where you need to grow to begin with. So having that sense of self-awareness will actually help you figure out what areas of your life you do need to improve in, because you will see where your weaknesses are. But you will also see where your strengths are, and you can maybe even just improve upon those. It don't have to be like, oh, I'm just down bad and out in this part of my life and that needs to get better. It can also be, okay, this part is good, but I can strengthen that. And during this time of self-awareness, y'all really do need to be seeking constructive criticism. And because sometimes, actually 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1. And sometimes we just don't see it. And sometimes we need somebody to bring us back to reality, or whatever the case may be, give us a different perspective. Because everybody sees the world differently. Somebody might see something differently than how you see it, and vice versa. So it's always good to seek constructive criticism and just see, if there's anything that you're missing, if there's anything that you're not seeing. Number 4 is going to be develop a growth mindset. And this is going to be really important, because some people will like start doing something and see that it's hard or that it's challenging and just feel like, oh, well, I can't do it. It's not going to happen. So imagine if there was an area in your life that you wanted to improve, and things weren't going the way that you wanted it to go. So then you just said, oh, well, forget it then. I guess it's just not going to get better. That area of my life is just not going to get better. No, you have to develop that mindset where you feel as though even when something is challenging, even when something is hard or something is not going your way, you can say, yeah, it's going rough right now, but I can still grow in this area and I can still get it done. Like, I may not be good at this thing right now, but I'll be good at this thing later. I haven't been able to do this yet. That is really important right there. Using that word yet, really utilize that and tell yourself, yeah, I'm not really good at math yet, because one day you will be. Or yeah, I'm not really good at dancing yet, but one day you will be. So you just have to use that word yet. You have to develop that growth mindset, that growth is possible, that I can get better, that this thing can get better for me. And that's going to be essential in your self-growth journey so that you can build up that persistence and that confidence in your self-growth journey, and that you can get better. Growing will not be easy. It is going to require that trial and error, learning those lessons and, maybe taking one step backwards so you can take a couple steps forward. But you just really got to remember that you can get better. Tip number 5 is going to be actually search for good resources that you can actually enjoy so that you can develop new skills. You can look for books, podcasts, YouTube channels, articles, support groups, mentors, community. There are just so many resources that you can look for when you're, trying to make a change in your life and you need more information. You need to build your knowledge. You know what I'm saying? You need to build that intellect. You need to actually go and look for those resources that are going to align with you, that you can actually keep up with. Like for me, I have listened to podcasts for, certain reasons. And I've actually been able to stick to one podcast and listen to it every day. I actually enjoyed that podcast. The same thing goes for books. I know that I like the self-improvement, self-help, nonfiction genre. That's what I like to read. So I stick to that, and that's what I read. For you though, it could be actually finding a community and getting that encouragement from people around you that are like-minded. Or it can be finding a mentor because you need to, need hands-on experience to learn something, and you would prefer to get your knowledge from somebody who has already been there and done that before. It's gonna be different for everybody, but you need to go ahead and research, look for those resources. And when it comes to building skills, you want to make sure that you are developing skills that align with your overarching goals. So once you figure out what the goal is and okay, what skills do I need in order for me to achieve that goal? Or what if I want to be better at something, what skills do I need to develop? You go ahead and figure that out, and you can look for courses and workshops and books. You can practice stuff on your own. Putting in that work and finding those resources and using those resources and implementing them into your life is how you're going to build those skills. And tip number 6 is going to be to prioritize balance. Y'all, I cannot tell y'all how when I first started my self-growth journey, I was trying to do way too many things at once, and I completely burnt out. I burned out so bad. I was overcommitting myself all of the time. I literally was starting to experience anxiety because I was trying to do too much stuff at once, just trying to get better at everything all at once. It was a nightmare. You really want to prioritize rest. And I know that once we get super busy, or once we have a goal that we're just so attached to, that we want to stay up all night and work on that thing, or oh, I don't need no sleep, all of that hustle culture or whatever. No, you need to prioritize rest. You need to be getting that, I want to say 7 to 9 hours of sleep. For me, I used to get 6 hours of sleep when I was in college, and that was enough. But now, I need at least 7.5 hours of sleep for me to actually be able to function the next day. So prioritize that rest and prioritize your mental health. Please prioritize your mental health. You need to learn how to set boundaries. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how to manage your time better. But prioritize your mental health so that you're not burning yourself out. While you're on your self-growth journey, let's say that fitness and physical health and all of that stuff is not really, the area that you're focused on right now. You still kind of need to make sure that you're that you're prioritizing that, and that you're working out, eating good, making sure that your diet is okay. And I'm just gonna say okay. I'm not gonna say it got to be perfect, because nothing is perfect. But still just stand on top of your physical health, your mental health. Stand on top of that rest, because you're gonna need it while you're exerting all of this energy and effort into improving yourself. Tip number 7 is going to be to focus on habits and routines. And I say that because it's going to make the journey so much easier, because when things become a habit, we just do it without even thinking about it. And creating a habit only takes 21 days. 21 days is all you need to create a habit. So girl, just try to stick to that. Try to stick to that routine. Try to stick to that task that you need to do for 21 days. And it's going to get so much easier to do every single day. It's going to be you won't even feel right if you don't do it. You can start really small and just build gradually. All right, y'all, and I do have a bonus tip for y'all because I feel like this one is really essential. And that is going to be to surround yourself with growth-oriented people. If you are in a room of small-minded people, you are too going to be small-minded. If you are in a room of people who care nothing about growth, eventually your care for growth is going to diminish. So this is really going to require you to build relationships with new people who inspire you. Deepen the connection that you have with people already who inspire you. It's also going to require you to put some space between those people who are a little bit toxic, who drain your energy, or who try to just pull you back into your old ways. That is one that I feel like is the hardest to do, because, you know, when people are toxic, we feel that. When people drain your energy, like, we feel that. And like, we feel the negative impact, and, you know, it bothers us to a certain extent. But when it's just the people who are just trying to pull you back into your old ways, that's a little bit different, because you too also miss the old version of yourself. You know, you have to mourn that old version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? You too miss some of your old ways, because that's why you used to do them, because you actually enjoyed them. But that doesn't mean that they serve you. So you kind of got to distance yourself from those people who are constantly trying to pull you back into your old ways, or who are constantly, you know, trying to discourage you from growth and from changing, you know, who don't really support you on your growth journey because they want you to stay the same. You got to put some distance between you and those people, unfortunately. You also want to seek mentors and ask for guidance from people who have already been in the position that you want to be in. No matter, you know, what phase that is, if they're ahead of you in any capacity, you need to be like, okay, girl, how did you get there? Okay, mister, how did you get there? You know what I'm saying? Find you a mentor. Find you somebody who knows what they're doing and who has been where you are now. Okay, y'all. I hope that these tips like really help somebody. These are things that have helped me. I feel like I'm in a really good place in my life right now. And it really came from a lot of self-reflection, a lot of self-growth, a lot of getting it together. I still got some areas in my life that I really want to improve. So, you know, I ain't perfect, but there are areas in my life where I feel like I've improved drastically, and it's because I actually committed to self-growth and used some of these tips that I gave y'all today. So if you guys have any other tips for, you know, anybody, you know, about what helped you on your self-growth journey, or, you know, what people can focus on, any more categories people can focus on, or anything of that nature, anything that will add to this content right here, go ahead and let us know down in the comments. Like I say, you know, I'm only one person. These are the tips that have helped me, and I hope that they help somebody else. All right, y'all, that's all I have for you guys today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and I thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.